So we talked about the similarities between Web 2 to Web 3, but obviously there are also differences. So when your friend told you about C4, did you right away try to jump into Code4Rena, or you did some CTFs or learned some basic Solidity, or maybe did CTFs like Damn Vulnerable DeFi or Ethernaut? Like, how did the process look like? How did you start?
Okay, the first thing I remember I did was this site called CryptoZombies. I think now it's very, very outdated, but back then, like when the compiler was still 0.6, and CryptoZombies was quite a good resource because it does teach you a lot of the basic DeFi concepts. Like for many of us in the space now, like ERC20, NFTs, ERC721 are like second nature to us. But when you're like completely new to the space, these are the concepts that you have to start to learn from scratch, I think. Not even like the ERCs or the EIPs, but maybe like contracts themselves, what are they and how they work. So I did CryptoZombies at first to learn these. And he also taught me a bit of the language. And after that, I think I did like 3 CTFs. If I remember, I did Ethernaut, then no, I did capture the adder first. I think this
It's the easiest
I'm not sure
one
this
I
is
started with.
yeah, it's the easiest one, but I think now it's a bit outdated also. Cause back that was like 1 or 2 years ago. But I did capture the adder, then I did Ethernaut, and then I did Damn Vulnerable DeFi. I think it was version 1 or version 2 back then. So I did these 3 CTFs, and I did come from like a CTF background after all, so like doing CTFs are more familiar to me. You get a problem and you just try to crack it no matter how hard it is. And this did like teach me a lot more about the DeFi security, especially like the idea. Damn Vulnerable DeFi is a very good one, honestly. I think like
I
it
love it.
teaches you, yeah, it is modeled after I think like real world exploits, so like kind of things that you see in the real world. So like I think normal CTFs you won't see things like flash loans or like price oracle manipulation to like drain the vault, but these appear in Damn Vulnerable DeFi, so it's a very good CTF, I think. And after I did this, then it was just audit contest on C4. Honestly, I think I didn't really watch any tutorial. I didn't do any like other courses because
There
my learning
weren't.
style is
And also there
I
weren't,
yeah
I think back then, there weren't any
yeah back
courses.
then there weren't also, but my learning style is quite hands-on. So if I watch a course or a tutorial, I nothing goes in. Yeah, so after that I just did like audit contest all the way.
Yeah. By the way, I totally agree with your hands-on learning because I'm the same. I learned Web3 security the same, by the way. I did CryptoZombies. That's how I learned Solidity. I actually learned Solidity in 2017 when there wasn't CryptoZombies. So I really struggled with Solidity 0.4, or I don't even remember what language was it, what version was it, but it was horrible. You know, the tooling was horrible. There was truffle, but it worked like horribly. But I didn't focus a lot on Solidity. I learned a bit, but then I learned back again in 2020 through CryptoZombies. So I really like the learn by doing approach. And also I did Damn Vulnerable DeFi. I skipped Ethernaut, but I think we had the same like learning curve. But yeah, most of the courses are very theoretical, so you have to listen to videos all the time. But this is something that I truly don't believe in. I think that courses should be 70% practice and 30% listening to someone speaking. You just need to learn the concept, but then the actual learning is when you do exercises and write code and write POCs and read code. So I totally agree. That's why, by the way, the course is like mostly exercises, the smart contract hacking course. This is also, by the way, you said that you're from Singapore. I got this approach from, I teach cybersecurity for many years, but we also used to teach in Singapore the military cybersecurity units. And I remember it was like 30% a lecture, like 1 hour lecture. And then the rest of the day, 8 hours, they are just doing exercises, you know, like they are working with Wireshark and writing Python code and all these kind of things. So this is the best way to learn. I totally agree with you. And so you basically, you right away started like working on a contest, or like you first read some reports?
I think for me it's sort of hand in hand. So okay, I'm trying to recall what I did back then because it was like 2 years ago. I think my first contest was Kelly. I think it was like this NFT. Yeah, all I remember is it was something about NFT, and it was like 400, 500 lines of code. This is all I remember. But what I would do actually back then in the past was that I would like read through the code, and obviously when you first look at the code base and you're new, you barely understand anything. But then you sort of see like these terms, like set fee something something something, or this function that like sets some admin parameter, I guess. And what I would do is I would look through like past audit reports of similar protocols. Back then there wasn't Solidity, now there is, so this is like even easier. But I would just like scroll through like Code4Rena past reports and see like, oh, this looks like the same protocol or it looks similar. Yeah, and I would just go through and see what kind of bugs appear in this type of protocols. Like, although I think this isn't like a very good approach honestly now, but when you're first beginning, this is like it does help your learning a lot because you are like learning at the same time while you're doing a contest itself. So you are actively like filtering knowledge and trying to process it and trying to on the spot apply it to like a contest that you're doing right now. And even if like you filter through 100 reports and nothing looks relevant or you don't have any ideas, these kind of the knowledge that you sort of absorb does go carry you on into like future audits. So when I did like over time after you do a lot of contests, you sort of stop relying on looking through past audit reports. Instead, you can sort of think back on what you have seen and to apply on your current audit. So I think that's what I did at the past. I know a lot of people like there was this phase, especially I think March early this year, where a lot of people were preaching like, oh, look through all audit reports and try to like filter out all the values you see that are relevant. But this was something that if you if you study reports without the notion of like applying it instantly to like a contest or a current audit, I don't think it's very effective. At least for me, I don't think it works. So this is not something that I recommend. If anything, you should just hop into a contest if you have the time and like the freedom to, I guess.
Definitely agree. This is a very good approach. Doing contests, jumping into the deep water, but meanwhile, try to look at similar protocols and apply. So don't just go and read reports. It's something that I discussed in previous interviews and podcasts as well. This is what I do.